Detroit. It is 105.1 The Bounce. Obviously, I'm your morning girl, Alicia B. And we are back with another Detroit Culture Shifters. And today, this is one that I'm definitely been prepared for. Because as you know, I'm still new to the city. But one of the places that everyone told me that if I wanted to catch a good vibe was Big Pink. And baby, the show continues to be correct every time they tell me. And I've got Munch and Toby in the building. What's up, guys?
What's up?
How's it going?
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you for coming. I'm so excited. After researching you guys and the fact that y'all like dibble and dabble in so much, I'm excited to just pick your brains a little bit.
Cool,
Awesome.
Let's do it.
So let's take it back to the early days when you guys were first doing everything. How did you get into the music world in general? Like, what brought you into music?
Amazing. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having us.
No problem.
We're really excited to be here, and we appreciate you giving us a platform.
No problem.
So I started off as a musician growing up, and started doing that when I was about 15, and we've been best friends since 3rd grade. So he was there the whole journey of my dabbling in the music industry, and time went on, and we both went to college, and I started throwing shows. He was doing photography for musicians. And then once we graduated, we both moved to Detroit, and that inspired us to start doing pop-up parties throughout the city in 2018.
Yep.
We would do a party every month, and each party we would focus on bringing different corners of the artist community together. Mm-hmm. So we would have DJs, vendors, food, live murals, and it would just create a really cool ecosystem for creatives to come together. And it also made it so we didn't have to rely just on us to bring people in.
Right.
We could have a lot of people bringing, as many people as they want.
Right.
So that kind of led us on our journey to opening Big Pink.
And now Big Pink has become the most talked about venue in all of Detroit.
It's crazy.
Like, when I tell you, the first thing that everyone told me that if I wanted to be outside was to come to y'all.
That's amazing.
And I'm like, okay,
That's awesome.
period. 10/10s, we got to go. So what was the original vision when you said, okay, this is what we want to do? What did you guys even do to make this all happen?
Yeah, it was a journey. We basically had been talking about taking our concept and making it more solidified. Mm-hmm. And Toby could talk about that.
Yeah, we had these shows were doing really well, and we didn't know about COVID yet. It was kind of like right before COVID, and so but we were like, dude, these shows are doing so well. If we could have just our own space, because that was like the hardest thing, was finding a space to throw the shows. But we knew if we had our own space, we could make it special and we could do things a lot better. And so we were looking for spaces. We found a space. We're like literally ready to sign the papers, and then COVID hits. And we're like, wait, hold up. We don't want to, hold on. And we thought about it, and we took a huge leap of faith. In literally June of 2020, we bought that building.
Wow.
And obviously there was no shows going on.
Right.
So it needed a lot of work. We knew we had like a year or two of renovations. And so we started building with the assumption that shows will be back, or we'll be able to do something with this. And it worked out. And it's crazy how how far it's gone, and we were just trying to open. And now I feel like it's doing pretty well. So
pretty well is an understatement.
Yeah.
Because again, after researching, I realized how many places that y'all have been before the permanent space. Like, y'all have done galleries, warehouses, like abandoned buildings. Yeah. Like, I can understand why you would want like a permanent space, because you want to create that consistency. You want to make sure that you are the prime spot. So what does it take with those early experiences teaching you about building community that you now have to this day? Like, take me back. Like, what is something that you still continue to want to, for the topic of building community, what have you learned from those early experiences that you learn now?
100%. That's a really great question. We learned a lot with those early shows, even just with show prep, with exactly what we want our space to be. We needed to throw all those shows to know what we wanted Big Pink to become.
Right.
For instance, we were throwing shows in places that didn't have bathrooms. We were throwing shows in places without roofs. We're like, we definitely need roofs and bathrooms.
I mean, all those party people ain't got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So, those are great examples of things we knew we needed, but also just like layout and flow of shows, and like how are you able to get people excited to be in a room to dance together and not fill a room with egos and make it so people feel like they can be themselves. You know, those shows allowed us to really dive into the community in Detroit and find something they needed, you know, and also take that concept and make it more consistent and give it a home. Right. So, yeah, I don't know if you want to build on that.
And I feel like, too, when now we are kind of on the other end, we own this venue. And so, you know, kids, I say kids because we're, you know, 30, 31 now, and we were 22 when we started. You know, now the 22-year-olds are coming to us and like, hey, we have this idea for a show. And I see it in their eyes, you know. I'm like, oh, my gosh, you're going to do it. All right, cool. Well, we can give you some advice because we've done this. And, you know, here's how we would lay it out, and here's how we would do it. So it kind of gives us a perspective because we've, you know, it's a lot of hustle and a lot of very DIY, which I feel like is a very Detroit trait is to, you know, if you can't find the thing, just do it yourself.
Figure it out, right.
Yeah.
I feel like that's such a full circle moment, too, to have those people who were at the age that you started at being like, oh my gosh, like we're coming to you guys. Like how exciting is that now?
It's super exciting. You kind of don't realize how deep in it you are until like, you pick your head up and you're like, oh my gosh, wow, we've done 300 plus shows in the last 3 years. You know, like we don't realize that. We don't realize these numbers because we're so focused on like
today,
right now. You know,
and what's next?
Exactly. How can we throw the best shows this weekend that make people want to come out? And, you know, it's a lot of just being present in the community and like active online and, you know, following trends and seeing what people are asking for. And, you know, super grateful people come to us for advice because, you know, we have knowledge to share and we're willing to share that knowledge. You know, we're not gatekeeping any of it.
And I see that, like, based off of just solely off of your social media, just the fact that you're always looking for people who want to experience things and how you can also help them. I feel like that also just shows y'all's character and why you guys are doing so well is that you don't just make it about you, you make it about what other people are going to experience. And you mentioned this earlier of like everything that goes into a show, and I'm so naive, so I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh, yeah, show prep, like you wouldn't think of it, because I mean, when people think of my job, they're just thinking, oh, you just get in there and you yap all day. No, like I'm show prepping, I'm researching things, like I'm trying to figure out what questions to ask, what to bring to the audience, because maybe they won't like that. So now I'm curious, when you are curating the artists and the event lineups, how do you do that? And how are you able to balance your personal taste with also making sure that identity of Detroit is still matching?
Always. Well, I mean, every show starts with an idea, you know, and I handle all of the marketing and show planning and prepping.
While you own it?
Yeah, so we're basically
owner operators.
We're owner operators. So
y'all are hella hands-on.
We're busy.
Everything. No show happens without us. So
period.
I start with all like the ideas, the marketing, the branding, the curating, and basically anything day of show, you know, in the venue. That's Toby's job.
Wow.
And it's kind of like a really cool yin and yang thing where
for sure.
I couldn't be successful without him, and his success kind of depends on me. So we have to hold each other accountable a lot. And since we've been friends for so long, and you know, we work well together. And but going back to the show prep question, prepping shows always starts with an idea, and I like to, you know, I'm super active on social media, and I ask people, hey, what do you guys want this month? Like, what are you interested in? So, for instance, this month, a lot of people were hitting my comments with like, let's do a Latin night, Bad Bunny Bowl. And I'm like, all right, let's run it. So, you know, I took the idea of like, okay, we love Bad Bunny, we love J Balvin, we love Karol G. Let's take, you know, this Latin night, let's do it on the weekend of the Super Bowl, to, you know, a little warm-up party. And then I got a couple of my friends who are Latin DJs in the community. They live out in Southwest. And it's really important if I'm going to do a night like that I get people in that community to like, you know, play the music and it's true to that community rather than just kind of getting someone that gets a Spotify playlist and runs that, you know?
Right.
So, yeah. And then, you know, we work on the flyer and all that, you know, branding side of it. And then we announce it. And then it just goes in the ecosystem and
hope for the best.
Yeah. And we do these things that allow us to, you know, not necessarily like have a guaranteed room, but we like to make our shows accessible.
Yeah.
You know, we give away 1,200 free tickets every weekend.
Wow.
And we make it so people in the community, you know, even if they don't have money, that they can go out and, you know, that pay cover and pay the coat check and all this money, that they can just come and have a good time and not spend a dollar. Yeah, so we like to make our shows accessible. And then, you know, once doors open, that's this man's job.
Yeah. I mean, from the personal taste standpoint, I think when we opened, like, and back when we were doing pop-ups, we were very 50-50. We're like, I would try to plan all the shows with him, and he would try to do the operations with me. And we realized our talents lie in different areas. Like, he always says, like, I like sad music. He's like, you know, if it was like my taste in music, it would be a bad club, you know? So he does a very good job at that. And then, yeah, I love just hospitality. Like, that's like our home, you know? So when people are there, I really try my best to, like, make sure they feel taken care of, you know, and that's just, you know, that's the mentality I give to our employees and everyone. So I think that's more my strong suit. The booking stuff and creating the vibe is definitely his expertise. He's a little cooler than me. He's like,
no,
you can say it. Yeah.
I love how intentional you guys are, like, from start to finish. Even you mentioning your employees and how, like, intentional you are with that. It just feels like every single piece of the puzzle is so thought out, and the average consumer is not sitting here thinking that you guys have worked weeks, maybe even months on a concept that they're just experiencing for maybe 5 hours a night. So just being able to say this to people, I think people are going to, like, be a lot more appreciative and grateful for what you guys have already given. Yeah. But I think it just gives people a little bit more to chew on, to be like, wow, like, this night was amazing. And it probably took them so many hours of just hard work to figure out how this is going to go. So obviously there's good and there's bad with any business. Has there been any challenges that you've faced running this venue that now you're looking back, this is how I would have done it, so that others who are trying to be in the same arenas as you could hear that feedback and not just take it as, oh, well, I mean, they couldn't get past it. You're giving them something to think about. So what is a challenge that you faced that now you look back and you're like, I would have done this differently?
Definitely. I think one of the biggest things we had to overcome was, like, we've been friends for so long, and just being able to have, like, a healthy friendship along with a healthy you know, business partnership was important for us. And just being able to communicate, that a lot of things can be avoided if you communicate in life, you know, as long as you're, like, talking, oh, this is bothering me, oh, I need help with this. Like, talking in a lot of areas of our lives can change things for the better. Yeah. And just makes it easier to work together. I think that was a big thing for me, at least, just being able to be, like, you know, honest, open, vulnerable, and just willing to communicate with him about how I feel.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people probably wouldn't be able to work with their friends.
That's the truth. A lot of people say, when we would tell people, like, hey, I'm opening a nightclub with my best friend, like, people immediately always, like, kind of, you know, like, turn their head. Well, I mean, historically, you know, it creates issues. It caused rifts. Like, and in the beginning, you know, there were times where it did create a rift, but we're able to work through that. And then at the end of it, it was like, okay, if we're going to have to choose this business or our friendship, we're going to choose our friendship, because
that was always the rule.
Yeah.
It's friendship first and then the business. So
yeah. That's beautiful.
And that allowed us to, like, have a really healthy working relationship, friendship, and, you know, we still can rely on each other, always be there. And yeah, I think that was a really big learning curve for us.
I love that. Do you have one?
I mean, I think just first-time business owners, like, there's a million things that we tried out, maybe that didn't work, or management styles or scheduling style, all sorts of stuff. But I think, to his point, communication is, like, we'll fix everything. Like, with customers, you know, someone's all mad. I'll just communicate. I'll just be like, hey, you know, we made a mistake probably, so let me try to fix it. I guarantee you I'll fix this problem.
Honesty.
Just give me, like, a couple minutes, and then they calm down. Or, you know, I can see, you know, an employee is mad at a customer or something. I'll go talk. I'll be like, hey, are you mad about something? And communicate about it. And usually it can be fixed. I always tell people, it's not that serious. It's a club. You know, we're supposed to be having fun. Yeah. It's not like World War III out here. This is your night out. So let's just have fun. And yeah, most problems can be fixed with that heart to heart. communication. So it's crazy. We've been through a lot. I look back at it and I can't even believe it, but it's like, it's the forge through the fire. It's like you get through it and you're stronger. He's like, we could pretty much go into any situation together and I guarantee you we'd be good.
I love it. And now that you're obviously as successful as you are, now you've kind of had like a whole new venture. Are you guys doing that together, or is that solely just
No,
you?
I'm just a cheerleader. I buy the clothes.
Do you want to speak on it? Because I'm trying to get to a screen printing workshop, friend.
Yeah. So, honestly, well, this kind of goes back to like even before I started throwing shows. So I started off as a musician, right? And I love the process of making music, being in a studio with people, creating, sounds, bringing them together, writing, hearing a song when it's finished. I love that whole process. And I wanted to do that for the rest of my life. And I would ask people who were doing it, like, how do you do this? Like, how am I able to like have a career as a musician? And a lot of people were like, man, you got to play shows and you got to sell merch. And those two ideas literally changed my life. Like throwing shows and making clothes.
Yeah.
And I started by throwing my own events, performing at them, booking my friends, and I started making my own merchandise for my music. And it spiraled. Like I went from, heat pressing my own clothes to a friend gave me a screen printing press, and now I'm making merch for all my friends that are musicians and my friends that are business owners. And on the other hand, I'm throwing house parties and booking shows at local venues and still making music. And I always kept pushing this idea that I wanted to create this web where all the things in my life kind of
are
worked
intertwined.
in tandem.
Yeah,
exactly. So I make merch, I throw parties, all the musicians that play the parties, let me help them make merch. I want to do a new drop for this event. So all these things kind of worked in tandem, and it led to me opening up this shop in Dearborn. It's called Overtime Print Shop, and we do screen printing for businesses. We do our own custom printing for our own brands. We have a whole curated vintage section with secondhand clothing, and then we also host screen printing workshops where we teach local creatives, business owners, hobbyists how to screen print. We teach them how to make their own shirt, hoodie, and poster. And right now it's only $75, and every class is basically selling out. So I'm super blessed.
That's insane. And I love how, again, I'm just going to keep saying, you guys' intentionality is just crazy, because just the fact that you're even thinking, I want to create a network, essentially. I want to create an empire where essentially you can come to me about anything. And I have someone, even if I don't know it, I have someone who can do it. Like, that's so smart. Like, did you even realize that when you were young that you were essentially creating an empire, sir?
Not really. I mean, I come from two immigrant parents, who literally got it from the mud. My dad was one of 12 in a one-bedroom in the villages in Lebanon. You know what I'm saying? He, shout out the immigrant mentality, because they know how to work. And I saw what my dad had to do to provide for my family and his family. And I'm happy that I even got a sliver of that work ethic. So, all thanks to my parents and what they gave me.
Hey, if that's just a sliver, shout out to the OG.
Yeah, you know it.
Okay, so obviously with Big Pink and with Overtime, there's obviously things that you're hoping for, big successful goals. I'm not going to ask you to tell me all of that, but just in general, what would you want Detroit nightlife to look like over the next few years? Is there anything that Detroit nightlife is missing that you hope is filled? And if you do want to give us a goal or two, I'll help you manifest.
I think for me, just generally speaking, and a big thing for Big Pink, of why we created the space was just having it be safer, for everyone.
Real.
So, we do a lot of hip hop nights, and people come up to me all the time and say, thank you so much for creating this space, because, I'll go to a club maybe that is more like male dominated or that has bottle service, and it's hard to feel safe, I feel like people are looking at me, and it's like, we got to get rid of all that in the club scene, because, Detroit is like, it's the dance capital. Dance music started here, and people just want to dance, you know, and that's what it should be about. So I would say just keep making it safer for people, and And yeah, I don't know, maybe more hip hop.
Yeah, that was a big one for us. You know, we felt like Detroit needed a space that didn't focus on VIP booths, bottle service, room full of ego. We wanted to put everyone on the same playing field. Just, you know, a dance floor and a bar. Yeah, that was the goal. So it took us a while to get there because obviously people still hit us up saying, "Hey, can we get a booth for my birthday? Hey, can I do VIP?" And we're like, we don't really do that. You know, we'll give you free tickets for, you know, a show. Yeah. And you can pull up with your whole crew, but
I'll give you a bubble gun or something, you know?
Period, bubble gun?
Yeah. I'm like, we'll make it fun.
Yeah.
But just go dance with everyone.
That's the key. And a lot of people say that to us. Like, when you go to Big Pink, you're going to get every walk of life in there. You're going to look around and be surrounded by so many different types of people that are all there for the same reason. They just want to dance and have a good time.
And that's beautiful. And I think coming from DC, I also felt like that. Like, even in DC, it's like, ooh, bottle service club. Like, ooh, I wanted to be in that VIP. Where my seat at?
Yeah.
Hold on now. Exactly. My legs hurt too.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Or it just felt like, ooh, I shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Like, this is not for me. Yeah. But I'll say when I walked into Big Pink, I was with someone else, but I feel like I could go there solo dolo and feel like, okay, I could leave here feeling at peace. Yeah. Or I can leave here with meeting people. Because I met a few people. I'm like, oh my God, hey, friend. So I love the atmosphere that you guys are creating because it's not prevalent as much as we would like. And I think that you guys are pushing the needle to get it there.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. That really means a lot.
Yeah.
No problem. So you guys ready for a lightning round?
Let's do it.
These are just going to be quick things, anything that comes to the top of your head. So first one, the first show that you ever went to in Detroit that changed everything.
I mean, this is a crazy answer, but it's lightning round. I went to NSYNC at Comerica Park when I was like 5. And I remember they came out, and then I thought they were up on stage, but it was like a mannequin or something. They dropped, and then they were like right there in the middle of the crowd. And I was like, ah! And I remember that was like, oh my gosh. So that's kind of an embarrassing answer, but I was 5.
That's not embarrassing.
And it blew
5
my
years old
mind.
at NSYNC is crazy.
NSYNC, shout out NSYNC.
For me, it was probably it was Movement Music Festival when it was DEMF, Detroit Electronic Music Festival. My siblings loved that fest, so I would always be the younger brother being like, come on, take me with you. And eventually they did, and that opened my eyes to a whole new world.
I need to get to Movement real bad.
This is the year.
Yeah, this is because last year was my settle year. Yeah. So I didn't really do too much during the summer. I'm outside.
You're outside.
I'm outside this summer. Big Pink and it's packed. It's packed out. Is it giving floor or are you giving balcony? What's the vibe?
I'm always on the floor in the crowd. Like I'll always end up dancing for at least a little bit in the night, just because that's what it's about. You kind of like you get caught up in the stress of the night that sometimes you need to just like let it go, be on the dance floor for a bit, vibe out, look around, and have a good time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh man, I wish I could say I was on the floor, but I feel like most of the time I'm worried about like the bigger picture. And so a lot of times I'm in my office, I'm looking at cameras or I'm looking at, stock and stuff like that.
Come on, stock.
I'm usually on the outskirts of the building.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm in the back room filling up the bar. I'm at the door helping scan tickets.
Yeah.
He's on the dance floor getting videos and,
He makes it so people think that it's
seamless.
Easy to throw shows.
Yeah, they just get
He's
in.
the reason.
Okay. After hour moves, Coney, or are you getting gas station snacks?
I'm a vegetarian, so I'm about the gas station snacks all the time.
Friend.
Yeah.
Don't
That's
feel
me.
bad.
Yeah.
Me, I mean, a lot of times we have a food vendor at Big Pink, and so I'll just hit them up, Mama's Kitchen. Shout out Mama's Kitchen.
Shout out Mama's.
And I'll just say, hey, just like put me a few tacos to the side. That's my late night.
Best night out, Friday or Saturday?
Saturday for me.
Yeah, you gotta go Saturday.
Oh yeah, Saturday's it.
Okay, Detroit summer nights or winter nights?
Oh, well, honestly, like
this winter's been
nuts. This winter's been amazing. People are outside, even though it's like negative whatever degrees out. People are like, I still want to get out and dance.
And they first.
Oh yeah.
Because why not?
Why not?
Yeah, but summer in Detroit is special.
Unmatched.
Yeah.
Okay, finish this. Detroit nightlife needs
love and community, always.
And more venues.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Club etiquette rule that you wished everyone followed.
No requests. Don't request music from the DJ. Just trust the DJ.
I'm gonna say no texting on the dance floor.
Cause how lame.
Yeah.
You standing here, you're
someone's just-
essentially a wallflower at that point. Like,
Yeah.
what is so important that you can't vibe to the Kaytranada that's happening right now?
Exactly. You
Or
got
just
it.
step to the side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then speaking of DJ, last one I got for you, DJ booth essentials, vinyl, USB, or both.
I'm big on USB. Yeah, because I want to be able to plug in wherever, whenever, and not have to trip.
That's true.
Just focus on the music.
I'm trying to dibble and dabble my way. You know, I got a controller.
Cool,
you know,
let's do
nothing
it.
crazy.
He could
Let me
teach you
know.
that too.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
I'll pay you. I'll pay you,
You
friend,
don't
whatever
need
we
to do
need. Okay. Obviously, this is Detroit Culture Shifter, so we have to end off the segment with talking about people who are pushing the culture forward. Obviously, you guys were nominated, so congratulations.
Thank you.
But we passed the flowers on. So who is a culture shifter in Detroit that's making stuff shake?
You pick one, I'll pick one.
Okay. Well, I feel like there's a few different people. Can I give you like a couple?
Absolutely.
Okay, I feel like I deal a lot with creatives in the community. So I think a DJ who's doing amazing stuff for the community right now, his name's Mervin Montante,
Yeah.
and his Instagram is With Love Harlow. He does, yeah. He's the
I've
man.
been hearing about Harlow.
Yeah.
And I was so sick that I did not make it during the summertime.
Yeah. So he's crushing it. That's like one of my our best friends.
Yeah.
You know, we've gotten really close with him over the years, and I've seen his whole progression from wanting to throw these pop-up parties throughout the city to now he's done shows at the public library.
Didn't he do one at Central?
He's done. He did one on the rooftop on the building right next to Michigan Central.
Okay.
Yeah, for the fireworks.
Yeah.
He did that one. Yeah, he's doing these really amazing pop-up parties that are for the community, and you know, he just gives people a space to dance. So I would like to nominate him for
I
sure.
love that.
Another promoter that I want to show love to is the House Party guys, Nabil and J House. Love those guys. They throw great parties in the city, so I want to show them some love too.
Shout out to House Party.
Oh,
I
yeah.
gotta check them out. What
Yeah.
about you?
For me, we have one of our neighbors. He runs the downtown youth boxing gym. His name's Kali. So not as much a nightlife guy, but he does have a crazy story. We threw a show in his boxing gym. That's how we met him.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he has an amazing story. Does so much for the community. So he's awesome. I'll nominate him. He definitely, he works with kids. So you can't shift culture more than that.
Right.
He teaches them all sorts of stuff. It's an after-school program he runs. So I'll say Kali.
He's a legend, by the way.
He is a legend. He's insane.
He was one of the first people in Detroit that gave us a chance.
Wow.
We had an opportunity to throw a show with a huge DJ. His name's Grizz, and we just needed a space. And I walked into this youth boxing gym, and I was like, "This place is big enough." And I went up to him, and I was like, after being rejected by every other place, I was like, "Hey, man, I have a party. There's gonna be about 1,500 people here. Can we do it here?" And he was like, "Man, I don't believe you, first of all. You're not bringing that many people." I was like, "Trust me. Give me the space. We'll donate, all the money that we make back to you guys in the boxing gym. Just trust me. We need this." And he gave us the opportunity. And, he always believes. As long as you show him that you got the work ethic, he will back you 110%.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
gotta meet this man. Hold on now.
He's cool. So full circle from that, we bought a building down the street from the gym years later, which is now Big Pink. Yeah. So now we're his neighbor, and he's still, we see him all the time, and he's great. So he's on there. DJs K Dirty, she's
Love K Dirty.
yeah. She's been. I feel like she's always doing really cool events. And she's kind of everywhere in the city. So
And is.
I'll put her on there, put Donovan Glover on there. He's always been super active creatively. So
It's a great list, man.
yeah, that's a good list.
I love
That's
it.
some good people we just put on there.
Well, thank you. I'm definitely going to be reaching out to them. And please shout out yourselves. Show the social media for Big Pink, your socials, so that they can find you and be all locked into what you guys are doing.
So I'm Munch. My Instagram is Munch Music. The venue Instagram's Big Pink Loves You. And my print shop is Overtime Print Shop. I'm accessible. Shoot me a message. Say what up. I like making new friends. So hopefully I'll see you on the dance floor sometime soon.
That's it. I mean, mine, if you want to see me play guitar or something, or
And
my
we do,
kids.
Toby.
Yeah, maybe you do. It's
Yeah.
I Am Chester Pink So that was the original Pink. My name is Chester Pink on Instagram. So I am Chester Pink. But yeah, hit up Munch Music. He's on he's on there more. So we'll leave it at that.
Well, thank you guys for being here. I am honored to have met you, and I can't wait to continue to do business with y'all.
Amazing. Thank you so much, and hopefully we'll see you at Big Pink soon.
Yep, thank you.
Cool.